Let's talk about the Trojans' number one class. USC has the number one class in America. Maybe not the hottest team that we've covered this summer, but how did the Trojans get here and stay here in this number one spot?
Yeah, when March, April, and May is when you do all your work. All the hay is in the barn for June and July, and you're okay. I mean, you're sitting pretty. Number one, 31 commits overall. Their only commit in July is a big one, obviously, Booby Feaster, but that was their only commit so far in the month of July. Only 3 in June in Luke
Wow.
Wafel, Talanoa Ely, Peyton Dyer. They did all their work in the spring when no one was looking, when everyone was setting up all the stuff for the June official visits. That's when they had all their kids on campus. They loaded up across the board, flipping kids all over the place. And that's how they've been able to hang on. Now, other teams will make a run here. I mean, there are teams still loading up, still, this week alone, there are going to be some big commitments. But that's how they did their work. They got it done early. They got it done often in March, April, and May. And then they kind of sat back in June and July and just picked at some of the meat left on the bone.
But we've seen USC get off to hot starts. We've seen this happen before, and we've seen it all fall apart, sometimes really before summer even hits. Now we're exiting summer. Trojans are still number one. So what changes have you seen at USC under Lincoln Riley when it comes to recruiting?
Yeah, and USC fans in July are excited, and then the fall season starts and all their Southeast commits start hitting games at Georgia and Alabama, and they start getting very, very nervous. And I actually talked to Lincoln Riley about this last signing day, and I was like, are you guys going to change how you approach this? Are you going to try to get kids on campus earlier, later? What are you going to do during the fall? And he basically, said that they're going to stick with the plan. They're going to recruit the Southeast. They know that some kids are going to flip at some point. If you're from a small country town in Georgia, you come to LA and you absolutely love it. And then, mama's cooking isn't, down the road. So that becomes very tough. But what I think they've done over the offseason is put that recruiting staff together. That's one of the best, if not the best in the country. And not only one of the most talented in Chad Bowden and his group, but the most aggressive. They're going after guys. They're getting them locked up. They're showing them the love. And by the love, I mean, they're showing them the money. And, they're making connections much deeper with a lot of kids than they had in previous years. It's nice to bring Elijah Griffin in and Justice Terry and get some commitments and stuff, but they're really delving deep into the kids that want to be out in California, that really feel like that they can be away from home for that long. And maybe they lose some here and there along the way, but I don't think it's going to be like the purge in 2025.
Right. So looking at this commit list, it is absolutely loaded. What position group do you feel is the strength of this class?
Yeah, one of the things that I think USC realized in year one in the Big Ten is, they need to have their offensive linemen over 300 pounds easily. They need bigger defensive linemen. Speed is nice, but when, a guy from Iowa or Penn State or Ohio State put a finger on you and you kind of fall over, they need bigger guys on the defensive line too. So I think their line recruitment was a focus, and they hit it out of the park both ways. They went to the Midwest for Braden Jones. They went to Texas for Jamion Winfield along the defensive line. They went to Jersey for Luke Wafel, who looks like he could be, in a college program already. They flipped Tom Tupoy from Mater Dei.
Yeah.
They stayed local for some guys. They took a shot on Andrew Williams, who's a city kid, who's super athletic, but hasn't, sort of been under the radar so far in his recruitment. And then on the offensive line, they get Keeney Pepe, who's a California native who's playing at IMG, who's really bulked up over the last few years. They get Eason Taffa, a big kid, versatile offensive lineman, who can play inside, outside. They go to Folsom for Vlad Diakonov, who, needs to continue to put on weight, but is super athletic and can get physical. So I think that their line play was most important. Lincoln Riley's going to run great offense. He's going to have a great quarterback, productive wide receivers. You can go to California for all those guys, but they went everywhere for defensive linemen, especially offensive linemen as well. And I think that's where they really bulked up.
All right. So when it comes to this class, sitting here at number one with 31 current commitments, do you feel that they're going to add any more, or is this more about protecting what you got heading into the season?
Yeah, what's incredible is they're at 31, and I remember the days when you couldn't go over 25. It was like,
Those are
I think some
long
SEC
gone.
teams get the long gone, long gone. Yeah, yeah. As long as the bank account is still open, unlike mine, will you could still get guys. And I've been told they're going after tight end and safety. So they already have Mark Bowman, obviously,
Right.
the marquee player in the class, but another tight end in the class, and then another safety. So I think they could stretch to 33. Let's kind of be in that 32 to 33 ballpark, and that's probably where the class ends up.
All right, so a couple additions. USC fans, talk to us. How do you feel? Do you think this class finishes number one? And who are your top targets heading into the season? Let us know.